Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Roses usually bloom several times a year, but the best flowering period depends on the climate, variety and maintenance conditions. Generally speaking, spring is the best time for roses to bloom. The reason why roses bloom best in spring is mainly because they have experienced dormancy in winter, accumulated sufficient nutrients, and made full preparations for growth and flowering in spring. Secondly, the temperature in spring is suitable, the humidity is moderate and the light is sufficient but not too strong, which is conducive to the differentiation and growth of flower buds, making the flowers larger and fuller. In addition, the newly sprouted branches are thick and strong, which can support higher quality flowers. At the same time, the large temperature difference between day and night helps the accumulation of flower pigments, making the flowers more colorful and more fragrant. In addition, there are fewer pests and diseases in spring, the leaves are healthy, and the photosynthesis efficiency is high, which further improves the quality of the flowers. In contrast, the high temperature in summer may cause some varieties to enter a semi-dormant state, although they can bloom again in autumn. The overall flowering quantity and quality are often not as good as in spring due to the large consumption in summer. In order to welcome the arrival of this batch of spring flowers, people often invest a lot of time and energy in the maintenance of roses during the dormant period of winter roses. Whether it is winter pruning, garden cleaning and disinfection, or applying winter fertilizer and keeping warm, every step will not be neglected, laying a good foundation for the explosive growth of roses in spring. However, if we do a good job of rose maintenance in winter, does it mean that we can sit back and wait for the flowers to bloom in spring? My answer is no. Spring maintenance of roses is also very important. After entering spring, we still need to carefully maintain the roses to ensure that the roses pass the growth peak smoothly and usher in the most beautiful flowering season. The following are the key points of maintenance for ground-planted roses after they sprout and develop leaves in spring. Fine pruning. Even though we have done winter pruning on roses, winter pruning is not perfect because it cannot fully predict the growth in spring. There may be problems such as frost damage to the cut ends, uneven distribution of buds, and incomplete removal of diseased and weak branches. After the temperature warms up in spring, we need to further check the branches and leaves of the roses and cut off dead, diseased or poorly growing branches. Clean the base. Removing dead leaves, weeds and fallen leaves at the base of rose plants is a key measure to prevent diseases and insect pests. Dead leaves and fallen leaves are breeding grounds for pathogens and insect eggs. Timely cleaning can greatly reduce the risk of disease. At the same time, weeds compete with roses for nutrients and water. Removing them can promote the healthy growth of roses. After cleaning, remember to loosen the soil to help improve soil permeability and water penetration, avoid soil compaction, and maintain the health of the root system. Through these measures, not only can diseases and insect pests be prevented, but the soil environment for rose growth can also be optimized. Fertilization. The best time to fertilize in spring is after the rose leaves unfold and the temperature warms up, when the plant begins to enter an active growth period. I personally like to use inorganic slow-release fertilizers for spring fertilization. Inorganic slow-release fertilizers can slowly release nutrients for 3 to 6 months, avoiding the trouble of frequent fertilization and providing roses with nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium and other major elements, promoting the development of roots, branches and flower buds. When fertilizing, spread the fertilizer evenly around the roots to avoid direct contact with the roots. Fertilization is more effective after loosening the soil. Cover the ground. If you find that there are too many weeds on the ground, adding mulch is a very effective solution. Mulch can cover the soil surface, block sunlight, inhibit the germination and growth of weed seeds, and keep the soil moist and reduce water evaporation, which is especially helpful for the growth of roses and other plants in spring and summer. As mulch decomposes, it can also improve soil structure, provide organic matter, and promote soil fertility and permeability. Prevent pests and diseases. In early spring, you can use broad-spectrum insecticides and fungicides for preventive spraying, especially when the rose plants are just beginning to leaf out. Using organic or low-toxic drugs can reduce the impact on the environment and effectively control common pests and diseases such as aphids, spider mites, powdery mildew, etc. Watering and applying water-soluble fertilizers. After the temperature rises in spring, the water demand of roses gradually increases. At this time, watering should be carried out according to the moisture level of the soil to ensure that each watering can penetrate into the roots and keep the soil moist. At the same time, water accumulation should be avoided to prevent the roots from being suffocated. You can also occasionally use water-soluble fertilizers instead of clean water and evenly water the roots of roses. Water-soluble fertilizers can quickly provide roses with necessary nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and promote the growth of new buds and the formation of flower buds. It is recommended to apply water-soluble fertilizers once every 2 weeks in early spring. And then the frequency of fertilization can be adjusted appropriately according to the growth status of the roses. If the roses grow faster, the frequency of fertilization can be increased to once a week. Care should be taken to avoid excessive fertilization to prevent fertilizer damage. In short, careful maintenance in winter lays the foundation for the growth of roses in the coming year, but careful maintenance in spring can ensure the most beautiful flowers. Only by continuing to do a good job of fertilization, watering, pruning, disease prevention and other work in spring can the roses welcome the most glorious flowering period of the year with the fullest attitude. Well, the above is all the content of this video. Thank you for watching. I hope this video can provide some inspiration for everyone in the maintenance of roses in spring. And I also wish that every rose lover can see the most beautiful bloom of the roses they have carefully cared for this spring. If you like my video, please subscribe, like, comment and forward it. And see you next time.